Hello, everyone. It's exciting to be part of this Perceived 2020 conference today and to speak with you on my experience for innovating for solving human problems, specifically on humans who are our customers and our users. How often do you think about delighting your users? Maybe you're thinking, I'm in B2B, and that's just not possible. It is possible. It's possible when you solve problems for them, when you innovate and deliver solutions that they didn't know they needed. Hi, I'm Deanna Ballew, the Chief Innovation Officer at Widen, and I've been with the organization for 15 years and been navigating through innovation across all of these years. In the early 2000s, we started offering software to enterprises, B2B software. Our SaaS solutions, they help marketing teams automate their product launches and campaigns and deliver brand consistency across their global teams. It wasn't though until 2015 did I start dreaming about delighting my users. This came about when I transitioned into product management and I started building out a new application for brand portals. And 2 years later, I finally launched brand portals. I was sitting in the audience of our annual user summit and I was listening to our Best AM contest. This contest is where our digital asset management admins, they'll come up and they'll present how they're using our solution, and the audience gets to vote for who does the best job. Well, as I listened to each of these participants, they each talked passionately about the use of brand portals, how it had changed the way they worked, how they loved them, and how they were recognized by their bosses by making use of them. It gave me goosebumps just listening to them. I had done it. I had delighted my users. I'm here today to tell you that you can strive to delight your users, even in B2B software. You just have to innovate by focusing on the humans using your software and their problems. First, let's talk about what innovation is not. Innovation is not 20% time or hackathons. I've tried these. We get a lot of new ideas and experimentation, but it doesn't lead to a new offering in the market. Innovation is not mystical. It's not only achievable by unicorns in a garage. Innovation is not invention. If we create something that no one uses, that's not innovation. Innovation is when we solve a problem that humans encounter and when they use it to change how they experience their day. We can all innovate. We just have to set forth the discipline and the purpose. To start, build your problem pipeline. Don't start with the solutions and technology. Start with the humans and the behavior that you can impact. When you start with the technology, you're thinking inside out. This is where you start with a solution and then you go out and you try to find a problem that it's going to solve. You need outside in thinking. Get outside the office and see how people are behaving in their day-to-day. Go to industry conferences, listen to the speakers, and identify the problems that they're talking about and key into those. These observations, they build out your problem pipeline. This seems easy enough, right? Well, the broader that outside influence, the broader those innovation opportunities become, and it can quickly become overwhelming. So before you go out in that world, first set your focus and get commitment from your leadership for time and money to go find those problems. To define this problem space, I've used the framework 10 types of innovation. First, with this framework, I started by determining how much ambition my organization has. How much risk are we willing to take? How much time and money will we commit to innovation? There are 3 levels of ambition when you think about innovation. You have core innovation, adjacent innovation, and transformational innovation. For these, you can think of core innovation as solving problems your current customers have. For adjacent innovation, this is where you can give new offerings to your customers and go a little bit bigger on those problems. For transformational, this is where you can change the game. You can put new products into the market and gain new customers. When you connect this to risk, though, you need to think about how core problems, you're going to be able to solve a problem probably within a year to gain some new revenue. For transformational, these are solutions that are going to need much more experimentation and investment. It might be 5 years or more before you see any revenue from this. In my organization, this was extremely revealing for us because we had leaders who were desiring for transformational innovation, but they wouldn't commit to the risk for transformational innovation. At the end of the day, we were only taking enough risk for core innovation and solving problems that our current customer had and always focused in on the year-end revenue return. What we ended up agreeing upon was to start devoting more time and money towards adjacent innovation and going out and finding problems that are bigger, but for our current customers. Next, you want to look at where you can have the biggest impact by setting a direction. First, look internally at your own strengths. Then go out and look at some market trends. See where there are some gaps that you might be able to fulfill. Once you understand that, you can then evaluate those 10 types within innovation. These types go beyond just creating a new technology or a product. You can focus in on the areas around your business model, your product offering, or your customer experience. If you focus in on just one area, this is good, but your competitors can easily copy it. When you focus in on multiple types, that's when you can create that competitive advantage through innovation. You can look at innovating around your profit model, network, structure, or process, and really leverage the strengths you might have here. With IKEA, they solved the problem of product assembly across regions with lower cost. Their streamlined internal production with their flat packaging and printed instructions that are the same for all regions made this very cost effective. Or you could solve a problem just through your packaging. Look at how Oscar Mayer launched a brand new offering by solving a problem for prepping kids' cold lunch. They already sold the crackers, the cheese slices, and the deli meat as individual items. They just then packaged them together as a Lunchable. So you can see how they had the same products. They just created a different system of delivery with that packaging for a brand new offering. And Mint.com, they innovate with customer engagement. With their simple interface, it takes the complex tasks of financial management and puts it into one easy to use system. And then it identifies opportunities for you to save money. When we think about someone who brings multiple types together to really gain that competitive advantage, we can look at what Apple did with iPod. For over a decade, they captured the market with their iPod. Yes, the product, it was better than other MP3 players. It had more storage, it had this cool clickable wheel, but then they also innovated on a profit model. They introduced a new recurring revenue stream by purchasing music through the Apple Store. And their brand, it's cool and polished. The white earbuds, they could be seen everywhere, and it made it desirable for somebody to want to own an iPod. By using this framework, you can build alignment within your organization and gain that commitment from your leadership on what innovation you're going to go out and get. Once you get that budget from them, you're then going to have to go do the work and set some goals and get out of the office. If only I knew all of these things back in 2012, when I first started looking into computer vision. With computer vision, I took an inside-out approach. I looked at the technology first to solve some problem within our solution, and I really thought that if I added computer vision, this would be innovative, and buyers would choose us over our competitors just because we had computer vision. So I dreamed up an idea, and I started to run with that to add yet another feature. Our customers, they house thousands and millions of digital assets within our tool. It quickly can become this disorganized mess. So I thought that I could make use of computer vision to organize this mess by adding textual keywords to assets. We tried out 10 different tools and libraries across many of those early years, and they all were falling short of adding meaningful keywords. But then in 2017, our competitors launched smart keywords with computer vision. So of course that meant we needed to catch up and we needed to add the same feature. So I did, and I rolled out smart keywords. At this point, we partnered with Clarify and we made use of their general model. There's really nothing worse though as a product manager than knowing that you're putting all this effort in just for feature parity. So this functionality, it checked a box, but very few customers made use of it. So like every good product manager, I asked my customers for feedback. And they told me the keywords that were being added, it just didn't match the mental model of their users on how they wanted to search. An example was the tag of no people being added. In reality, those images are called lifestyle assets. Or in some cases, the keyword was just inappropriate for their assets, like furniture shots that got tagged as sexy. So of course I listened and I turned around and I added more settings so that I could give these administrators more control of these keyword tags. They could map a keyword tag to say no people would map to the value of lifestyle, or they could choose to blacklist them so they would never show up. Then we even went as far as adding custom training per customer. So each customer could use their own images and create their own model for these tags. Still, after all that, low adoption. I had added way more complexity, way more settings and options, and now that required explanation and training to any customer who wanted to make use of it. This is not innovation. Well, it turns out we were solving the wrong problem. The users I were talking to, they were experts in their problem of tagging keywords, but not necessarily on the solution. I was so focused on trying to organize these assets, I missed the person searching for the asset. Underneath all of the people I talked to, they were tagging these keywords just so that this person could find that asset and make use of it. With this realization, I pivoted and I started to research around the problems for these users finding assets, the finder. So now, with the problem of a different user, the finder, we stepped into our user-centered design tools. We really looked into the relationship of assets from that user's point of view. Our researchers, they got out of the office, they did field research, we put together click-through prototypes and we tested them out, and then we brought all of these findings back and we workshopped them. We figured out that we still didn't know exactly what the finders were thinking. So we put together an experimentation process that we could dig into this. To do this, we used the design sprint framework. This is a 5-day experimentation framework that fosters innovation, creativity, and collaboration. On day 1, you set your problem space. Tuesday, you're sketching out a design. Wednesday, you're deciding what you're going to build. Day 4, on Thursday, you build it and you make your prototype. And then day 5, you are testing that prototype with real users and you get their feedback. We committed a team of 7 people for a whole week to test out this problem. During this week, we even had Clarify as technical solution architects part of it so that we could really leverage the technology as we were experimenting. By the end of the sprint, we had a working prototype and we had ran 4 tests from users across the country. We uncovered that finders wanted to search by look and feel, not by keyword tags. And these are problems that are ripe for computer vision to solve. We found the right problem to solve, and we already had technology that could solve it. With this experience, I have learned that I have to love the problem and not the solution. I was so attached to the solution of keyword tagging that I kept trying to make it work. In the end, I had to step back and assess what that problem was. And now that we're focusing on the problem of finding assets, we're solving it through a seamless experience of baking computer vision into our technology stack and allowing users to find similar assets, as well as reimagining what keywords mean for our finders. To ensure you can step back and see the problems, make use of processes that always focus on your customers and their user experience. Keep the outside-in thinking front and center by observing your users and experimenting with your idea every step of the way to see if it's solving a problem. And resist complexity. With all of this experimentation and observation, it is so easy to add in more complexity. I know that we're all energized by solving that next problem, but this turns into over-engineering and adding more features that go unused. It is so easy to just add another setting and think that's going to make it perfect. It is really hard to realize when you're going down the wrong path and to make a different decision. Resist complexity. Use it as a signal to go back to the problem and decide if you're solving the right problem in the first place. Remember, we're all humans, and we enjoy frictionless and seamless experiences. Innovation is in the simplicity of our solutions. Our jobs, they're challenging. We get to create something out of nothing every day with software. You decide what functionality to build, what technologies to explore, and then you have to wait and see if people will find it valuable. When you choose to delight your users with innovative solutions, you will deliver joy to your customers and impact their lives. Thank you.